Hi, I'm Kevin Kuchenbecker, Historic Preservation Officer for the City of Deadwood, and this is another moment in Deadwood's history. We're high above Deadwood to some extent, not to the top of the mountain, but midway up, where we're just above 30 Adams Street, and behind me you can see the old slime plant, Deadwood Mountain Grand, the cupola of the courthouse, the school, the Masonic Temple, John Walsh's house that happens to be on the hillside behind me. But what I'm up here talking about is gravity. Gravity works in Deadwood. About 4 weeks ago, I got a call from a resident that we were partnering on some restoration work, and the hillside started to slide. And so if I can ask Rose from Deadwood History, who's doing the video for us, to pan over here, you can see a lot of dirt has been moved. This whole hillside has a layer of clay, and we had a seep or a spring open up, and we've taken over 85 truckloads of dirt out of this backyard to relieve the pressure on a retaining wall down below, as if that would have collapsed and slid, we would have actually lost the historic resource. 30 Adams Street is one of those contributing resources in the Deadwood National Historic Landmark. We actually have them in our programs. We have a foundation program, a siding program, and a window program that they are utilizing to restore that historic property. But it was pretty scary. The track hole just beside me over here is the size of equipment that we were using, and RCS Construction actually was the chosen contractor in the emergency situation. They are already in town just finishing up one retaining wall and working on another. And so we brought them over here, worked with a structural engineer, Albertson. Jared Shippers is our structural engineer. Walt, our geotechnical engineer, came in. And we had three things to do immediately. One was to remove the deck on the back of the house. So if it moved, it wouldn't push the house. Number two was to put a temporary wall. So we brought in some large blocks, put a temporary wall in front of the existing retaining wall, and three was to relieve the pressure, remove the dirt out of here. So they had to pioneer a road in behind the houses and start trucking out this dirt. And unfortunately or fortunately, we had this happen. It's not the first time, it won't be the last time. When we have several wet seasons in a row, which we have had in the last couple years, there's springs coming out of these hillsides. And with the soil conditions, it just let loose. And so we have several retaining wall programs or projects that are getting ready to start. This one wasn't planned, but here's where we are today. And that's why we have gaming revenues that support historic preservation. Thanks to the citizens of South Dakota for voting 30 years ago for that amendment. Don't forget to vote for sports betting, which will help us as well. That's coming up this November. It's on the ballot. But we do just about anything and everything within historic preservation to save our historic resources, and this is a good example of what you do in case of an emergency. Hope you enjoyed this, and that's a wrap.